It's an A to Z of my favourite Prince tracks. Ahoy hoy everybody, and welcome to this video. This is the first in a series I'm hoping to do where I take an artist I'm a fan of, I take their catalogue and give you my favourite songs for each letter of the alphabet. Starting obviously with Prince, my favourite artist, and probably the only artist I'm going to do where I have got an answer for every single letter of the alphabet. Obviously some artists it will be difficult to get X's and Z's possibly, and Q's and some of the more tricky letters, but with one tiny cheat I have managed to do it for Prince. So yeah, I'll show you something significant for each song, either the album it's on or the single if it was a single, and I'll also give you some also rans for each letter where possible. But yeah, without any more ado, my favourite Prince song beginning with A. Strong contenders were Acknowledge Me, Adore, Alphabet Street, America, Anastasia, a few others. But my absolute favourite, and one of my favourite Prince tracks full stop, is Another Love a Hole in Your Head from Parade, the soundtrack to Under the Cherry Moon. I just love the vocals on this. It's one of those songs where about halfway through I find myself switching from singing the main line to the backing vocal. It's so cleverly done. And yeah, it's just a song I absolutely adore. The bass line's great on it as well. Another Love a Hole in Your Head. B is my joint favourite Prince track. Contenders were Baby I'm a Star, Beautiful Strange, Black MF in My House, Black Sweat, Blue Light. Lots of good B's. But yes, my joint favourite Prince song is Bambi from his second album, a self-titled album. A heavy rocker, great guitar on it. It's a song about falling in love with a lesbian. But yeah, just excellent guitar on it. I've loved it for years. Lucky enough to see him play it live at the very first Prince concert I ever went to on the Diamonds and Pearls tour in 1992. Yeah, Bambi. C. Strong contenders were Cream, Come, Computer Blue, Condition of a Heart, Controversy, Crucial. Again, lots of strong contenders for C. But my favourite is Chelsea Rogers from her Planet Earth album. Gives me a good excuse to show off Fantastic Lenticular as well. Really funky track, Chelsea Rogers, about the model of the same name. And the bass line on it is just amazing. Absolutely adore Chelsea Rogers. D, again, some really strong contenders. DMSR, Delirious, Damn You, Daddy Pop, Darling Nikki, Dinner with Dolores, Do Me Baby, possibly one of Prince's greatest ballads. But for me, it's got to be a track that should have been on the Gold Experience but was dropped at the last minute and ended up being released in a live version in the Crystal Ball box set. And that's Days of Wild. Another really funky track. Great groove, fun lyrics. It's a song that he regularly stretches out to, 10 minutes plus live, and it never falters. Absolutely amazing. Days of Wild. E, again, some strong contenders, thanks in part to Prince's use of the word I instead of a letter I, as in I Know, which is one of the possible ones. Erotic City, Endorphin Machine, Electric Chair, all tracks I absolutely adore. But I've gone for, might be a bit controversial, but it's a track I absolutely love. It's Elephants and Flowers from Graffiti Bridge. It's quite a simple pop song, really. Some strong guitar on it. It's a very Prince sounding song, and it's just got a really catchy chorus. And for years it's sort of been my go-to doodle, is an elephant surrounded by flowers. So yeah, Elephants and Flowers. F, possible contenders were Face Down, Friend, Lover, Sister, Mother, Wife, which has strong personal meanings for me. Family name, but I've gone for Forever in My Life from Sign of the Times. Again, just such a simple, beautiful song. Another one where the backing vocals sort of take over the lead vocals. That appeals to me, obviously. But yeah, a classic Prince track, Forever in My Life, is my favourite. F. G, we have my other joint favourite Prince song, and this was a single and also the title track, more or less, to my favourite album, full stop. It's Gold, so this is the CD single for Gold, from a Gold Experience, obviously. It's sort of the ultimate Prince anthem for me. You know, if you take what Purple Rain started as the big anthemic rock anthem, I know that's not a great description, but you know what I mean. You know, the building sound, the sing-along sections, all that. It sort of peaked for me with Gold. It's sort of Symbol's version of Purple Rain, if you like, but in my opinion, better. So yeah, Gold. Other contenders were Get Off, Get Wild, Girls and Boys, Guitar. For H, we go back to Sign of the Times for a track that I honestly believe only Prince could ever have recorded, and that's Housequake. How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore, strong contender. Head, Horny Pony, one of my favourite Prince B-sides. But Housequake, just absolutely awesome, funky track. The live version in the Sign of the Times concert film is one of my go-to visual Prince moments. His dancing in that is just amazing. But yeah, you know, famously when U2's Joshua Tree beat this album to the Grammy, Prince said along the lines of, I could record that album, but they will never do Housequake. And sure enough, they could never do Housequake. Nobody other than Prince could ever do Housequake. I is a favourite B-side of mine. It was actually used twice on the album I'm about to show you, and then also, sorry, on the single I'm about to show you, and then also reused on the Insatiable single from the Diamonds and Pearls album. For Reveal It, strong contenders were I Can Never Take the Place of Your Man, If I Was Your Girlfriend, I'm Yours from his debut, which I love the guitar on, Irresistible Bitch. I've used an acronym here and I'm now trying to work out what it is. It's Going to Be a Beautiful Night, I Want to Be Your Lover. But no, my favourite I track, where he actually used the letter I, is I Love You in Me. So it's a B-side to Arms of Orion, and as I say, Insatiable. It's a simple song, again, quite beautiful medley. Sorry, beautiful melody, simply played. I love the lyrics to it. They're you know, I love you in me. You know, they're quite dirty, really, but sung in such a beautiful, innocent way. It's always been a favourite of mine ever since I first heard it, and again, one that I was fortunate enough to hear him play live on the Gold, or the Live Experience tour when he was promoting Gold before it came out. J is a track where I absolutely adore it. Possible contenders were Johnny and June, but there's not that many J's. But primarily the live version from this album, although the studio version from this album is also amazing, and that is Joy in Repetition. It's just, again, a track I can't imagine anybody else ever recording. It's the hypnotic melody to it, the story of it, the repetition of the title at the end, again, is hypnotic. The guitar on this live version is amazing. But yeah, Joy in Repetition is just a masterpiece. K, I think there's only 2 officially released Prince tracks with K. The other one is Katrina's Paper Dolls, which is on the Purple Rain Deluxe edition. I've only heard once or twice, so it's not embedded enough in me to be a favourite. So it's got to be Kiss. Obviously, number 1 in the US, big hit over here, big hit for Tom Jones over here. you know, it's a track everybody knows and pretty much everybody loves. Kiss. L is a no-brainer really, although strong contenders were Lay Down, which is one of his greater later songs. Let's Work, Little Red Corvette, Live for Love, Loose, all tracks I absolutely adore. But this was the track that made me a Prince fan. I've told the story before, but I got the cassette of Purple Rain, stuck it on, first track, heard the guitar, that was it, I was hooked. Let's Go Crazy. Absolutely brilliant. From Dearly Beloved to the guitar right at the end, the solo, the extended version I love even more. Let's Go Crazy. M, contenders were Mad, Mountains, Musicology, My Name is Prince. Again, all tracks I absolutely love. But primarily for a vocal, I've gone for Money Don't Matter Tonight from Diamonds and Pearls. There's something on the vocal. It's sort of an effect of some sort. I've never quite pinpointed exactly what it is, but it just makes it all sound so heartfelt. It's a great song anyway. Great subject matter. Really heartfelt. You know, you could tell he really meant it. But yeah, it's just some effect on the vocal. It's subtle, but it's wonderful. So I absolutely love Money Don't Matter Tonight. N, couple of possibilities where Nothing Compares to You, but which version? A New Position from Parade, I absolutely love. But another no-brainer for me, from my favourite album of all time, and this is the first time I've shown this copy on my channel, Now. Another fun, funky track, sort of similar vein to Days of Wild. Some great added moments like the sucking of a reefer and, you know, various sound effects and things like that. Very typical of this album, of this era. But just such great fun. Absolutely love Now. For O, a track, the official released version, or the original official release version anyway, was a re-recording of. The original has now appeared in the Sign of the Times box set. And that's Old Friends for Sale. So it ended up as the title track to this album of Old Friends for Sale. Contenders were One Kiss at a Time and One of Your Tears, two both beautiful tracks. Something about the letter O means slow, thoughtful songs. Old Friends for Sale was originally written by Prince when he was feeling really annoyed with some of the people around him. Jam and Lewis. Was it? It's one of his bodyguards. It might have been Big Chick. I can't remember. Had told a story about him to the tabloids, and he was feeling betrayed by all these people. So he as he tended to do, let rip in a song. So it's another, as I say, it's a piano-based, slow song, just telling the story of how he felt let down by these friends, basically. But yeah, absolutely love Old Friends for Sale. P, hundreds of contenders, obviously Purple Rain, but as a Prince fan, I am sort of, much as I love the song, I've heard it so many times. Papa, Party Man, Pretty Man, P Control, Pink Cashmere, Blame of Sunshine, Pop Life, Push, Pope, lots of great P tracks. But I'll go on for Peach from the hits 2. This is obviously the 7-inch single of it. Just great fun, Mark Bolan-esque pop song, great guitar riffing through it and soloing, fun lyrics. Peach. Q is where I had to slightly cheat. I could have gone for Q in Doubt, which was one of the remixes on the Cream maxi single, but really I've counted T as, you know, for the as T, but I've sort of dropped the T for the Question of You. Which is a great blues track from Graffiti Bridge. Quite a simple blues track, but wonderfully performed, great lyrics, excellent done live as well. Always been a favourite. Question of you. Possibilities were Race, Rainbow Children, Rip Hop Go to Zipper, Rock and Roll is Alive and It Lives in Minneapolis. I've gone for a big hit single again, but again it's just one of my favourites that I always love no matter how many times I've heard it. That's Raspberry Beret. It's just a classic pop song. Again, fun lyrics, very Prince in sound. You all know what Raspberry Beret sounds like. It's great. Another single for S, but possibilities were, it's almost a tie with She's Always in My Hair, a B-side, which I adore. Scandalous, Sign of a Time, Sister, Sleep Around, Somebody's Somebody, Sometimes It Snows in April, Space, Starship and Coffee, Strange Relationship, Superfunkalifragisexy. I think S was his strongest letter. But I've gone for Sexy MF. Obviously the shock of the lyrics, MF standing for motherfucker. But it's just a great upbeat. I don't know why I turned that round when I haven't on any of the others. I don't think I have anyway. It's just a great sort of fun jazz funk track. Bit of rap from Tony M. But it's that chorus I'll never forget. So, single was released around the time of the Earls Court shows in 1992, and they were selling a vest that said Sexy MF on the merch stand. There's a little girl in front of me as I was deciding what I wanted to buy, and she turned to her mum and said, "Who's MF?" I thought, you're going to find out. And there's just nothing like hearing 13,000 people, I think, with capacity of Earls Court, singing "You Sexy Motherfucker" back at Prince. Yeah, absolutely adore Sexy MF. T, again, strong contenders, thanks to the word the Dance, which, again, very nearly won out. The Gold Standard, The Love We Make, The Morning Papers, Thieves in the Temple, Thunder. But just an all-time favourite for me is The Beautiful Ones, for Purple Rain. The drama of it, the simplicity of that opening piano and the way the song builds. Just one of Prince's best vocal performances. The Beautiful Ones. You could have had Uptown, You Make My Sunshine, Under the Cherry Moon. But again, it's got to be a well-known hit single, I'm afraid. It's going to be You Got the Look, duet with Sheena Easton, although she's not actually credited. Unlike Arms of Orion. But yeah, just another very Prince song. Fun lyrics, fun pop song, funky. You Got the Look. Vicky Waiting, although I much prefer that live than on record. Violet the Organ Grinder, one of the Get Off remixes. But no, I've gone for Venus de Milo from Parade. Just a simple piano instrumental, but really showing off Prince's virtuosity on that instrument. Great song. W, We Can Funk, We Gets Up, White Mansion, When Doves Cry, Willing and Able, Witness for the Prosecution, but which version? But for me, again, another no-brainer, When You Were Mine. Very much a new wave punk song, as much of Dirty Mind is. Great lyrics, just great catchy track. Cyndi Lauper's version's really strong as well. A track Prince obviously loved because he played it live so many times throughout his career. When You Were Mine. Now we get to the tricky end, but doable with Prince, thankfully. For X, so he released an album of jazz instrumentals called Expectation, all of which were words beginning with X. There was one track that he left off that album, but he played live on the One Night Alone tour, and that was actually my favourite of those tracks, and it's Xenophobia. So it features on this live album, One Night Alone Live. it's probably the funkiest of those instrumentals. Certainly being played live by the band he had at that time. It is. Yeah, really enjoyed Xenophobia, if you see what I mean. For Y, again, no real other contenders. I think there's only one or two other Y tracks. Why can't I do that when I can do this? Was one of them, but it's not a song I adore. But I do really like Young and Beautiful from the One Night Alone album. It's probably the most poppy track on this album, possibly the most. This and Pearls Before Swine, is that what it's called? Yeah, Before the Swine, rather. Probably the two most complete songs on there. The rest of them are sort of piano tracks, where it's just him and piano with a few overdubs, which are great, but some of them are almost half songs. But certainly Young and Beautiful and Pearls Before the Swine are proper full songs. And yeah, Young and Beautiful is just fun and catchy. Very atypical of this album, but I really like it. And Z, again, I think there was only one contender, but it would have won out anyway, because it's another track I've always loved. And that's Xanali from Chaos and Disorder. A bluesy, rocky, fun little number about a one-night stand with a girl called Xanali. So there you go, my A to Z of favourite Prince songs. Another day, some of those I might have picked other tracks, but when I wrote this yesterday as I record it, and went through, those were the ones I picked. You know, as I mentioned, Bambi, Gold are my two favourite Prince tracks ever. Another Love, A Hole in Your Head would always be up there. Joy and Repetition would be as well. Let's Go Crazy would be. Raspberry Beret would be. Beautiful Ones would be. Two or three others probably permanently would be in my top 10. But yeah, just such a strong catalogue. So there you go, my A to Z of Prince songs, my favourite Prince songs of those letters. So yeah, I want to do this for other acts. So there's some no-brainers who I'll obviously do, like the Beatles, Divine Comedy, Bowie. There'll be more. But if there's anybody who you know I'm a fan of and have their catalogue that you want to see me do, just drop it in the comments below and I will certainly add them to the list. But yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks. Bye.